Hello and how are you? My name is Mahindo Mbarak and I welcome you to our 21st video of mastering Flutter user interfaces. As we always do 40 minutes, so I'll start our timer. In our today's video, we're going to see how we can implement the things that we've been learning so they can start making sense. So right now, we're going to look at how we can make such kind of tabs, and then we'll see how we can implement this kind of a tab maybe in a store application. We can also see how we can implement this kind of tab in a light mode application. We'll also see how we can implement this kind of tabs in a scroller. In a system that can allow scroll the tabs and then hide them. So we have a lot of things to cover, and that's what we're going to implement right now. So without wasting much time, let's go straight into our today's business, which is learning about tabs. Then if time allows us, we'll go ahead and proceed also to forms. So I have a lot of things to cover in this video. Let's get started. So let me begin by setting up my font so you should be able to see things clearly. Come here to settings and increase the font maybe to 18 so you can see things without any problem. Okay, so we're going to look at tabs mainly. So we're going to begin by creating a section of tabs. So I'll come here to our application, then I come here to where we have our screens. I'm going to create a section for tabs. So I'll come screen and say new and test the directory, and then I call these ones tabs. All right, so this is where we're going to put the logic or the files of tabs. So we're going to first begin by creating these basic tabs. Okay, so to create basic tabs, I'll just simply come here and create a new screen that I'm going to call a file, and I'm going to call this one basic underscore tabs.dat. Okay, .dat. So after doing like that, I'm going to go ahead and create a class of basic tabs by just simply saying stateful widget like this, and then I write basic tab screen. Okay, basic tab screen. Or we can say basic tabs screen. Okay, I'll go ahead and press Alt and Enter to import this, and I'll remove this key for me. I don't need it. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to link this basic tab key with my main route here, or with my main home page. So I'll come here to our home page, and then I'm going to create another section here. The section, I'll call it tabs. So I'll come here and create another section that I'll call tabs. So after, I'm going to create I'm going now to create a clickable link. Okay, so I'll just copy this one and then I paste it here. Okay, so after doing that, I paste it here. Let me copy this one that is clickable, and then I paste it here. So after doing that, I'm going to link this one to basic tabs. So I'll come and change the name. I put basic tabs, and then I come and put here basic tab screen. Okay, so when someone clicks there, they should be able to proceed to basic tabs. So let's go ahead and do that. When I click here, I'm able to see the basic tab screen. I believe everyone should be able to do this. Right, so let's go to save time. I'm going to go to our code, so you can just be referencing there as we explain everything step by step. So come to our route, I'll come to our tabs, and then I'll come here to basic tabs or tabs basic. So the first thing that we're going to do right now, we're going to extend our class with our stateful widget with the single ticker provider mixin. Okay, so just simply come here to our stateful widget, okay, here on the state of the system here, and then we go ahead and add. Let me first disable Copilot. Where is this M? I don't know. Right, so I'll go ahead and say with single ticker provider mixing. So you have to add it there in order your tabs to behave. So after doing that, you're going to create controllers. The controllers, the one that you'll use to control the tab, and maybe the one that you'll use to control the scroll. So you can go ahead and create these two controllers. Okay, so create the controllers, just simply come here on top, and then you create the first one, which is going to be tab controller. Okay, so you import it, and then another one is going to be scroll controller, and then you give them the names. Okay, so after doing that, so this tab controller will help us to control those tabs. So after doing that, the next thing that we're going to do, we are going to go ahead and now do what? And initialize those tab controllers. So those tab controllers, we shall initialize them in the initial state, okay, or in the init state hook. So I'll come here and put init state. Then we'll come here on top and then initialize them. Okay, so you say tab controller equals to tab controller, and then here you must specify the number of tabs that you're going to have. For example, for our case, we're going to have 3 tabs, and then you put vsync, then you put what? This. Okay, so this one will link with what? With a single ticker provider. So after doing that, then we'll have system controller. So I mean scroll controller, so you can also call this scroll control like that. So make sure that you initialize them in the init state like the way I've done. So after doing that, so the next thing is to dispose them in case someone leaves this screen. So they should be removed from the memory. So you have to come here and put at dispose, or you can just write dispose, and then in this dispose you'll be able to dispose. You dispose the tab controller, dispose the scroll controller when someone clicks back. So you are removing them in what? In memory. So after doing that, the next thing now we're going to create now a what? Our context. Okay, so to create a context, we shall just simply come to our context here and then return the scaffold as always do. So we'll come here and turn scaffold. Okay, so this scaffold is going to take the body. Okay, it's going to take the body. So I'll just simply come here and say body. Let me first disable copilot. Okay, so say body is going to take what we call nested scroll view that can take multiple scroll views. I'll import it. Okay, so this nested scroll view, it must have a controller that will be controlling it. That is the scroll controller that we created it. So I'll go ahead and give it what? A controller. After giving it a controller, the next thing that it must have, it have now the what? The header silver builder. So the header silver builder is the one that is going to be responsible for displaying these things in the what? In the header. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So the header silver builder, just simply header silver builder, it is going to take a what? A function that will receive the context and the what? And whether the inner is scrolled or not. So we just simply open here, and this one will receive a what? A build context, and then put your context, and then it will also receive a boolean. Okay, whether the inner is scrolled or not. So you put here boolean and say put inner scroll or not. Then after doing that, you open curly bracket and then you return the what? The widget like this. Okay, so we are now going to return our what? Our widget, or this top widget. Okay, so this is the one responsible for just displaying the top items here. If you we're going to have nested scroll view. So for now, we're going to now just simply say maybe return. Let me first return just a simple UI return and say text and then say top, then put semicolon there. So after doing that, so this nested it must return a list of widgets because it's going to support multiple widgets on top there. Okay, so I can as well pass this one just for now. So the next thing it's going to take, it's must take now the what? So this I'll come and finish it. I'll come and finish it, this builder later. So the next thing that's supposed to take is supposed to take the body. So the body is the content for that information. So I'll just simply come and say the body. Okay, so I'll come in this and take the what, the body, and then I can simply say text, this is the body. So I save. So by doing like that, now what haven't I done? Receive the child, render box of specific. Okay, we're going to see how we fix this. Yep, have we defined the controller? Yes, I've defined the yes, define the scroll controller. Okay, we're going to see where the problem could be. All right, so after doing that, then you're going to return here the tab so that it can be able to do what, to be controlled. So instead of returning here the body as text, you're going to return now the what, the tab view. So the tab view will have two main sections: the section of controlling the tabs, this one here, and then another one is the section of now where you're viewing the tab information. So come here and return the body of this as what, as tab view. Okay, tab view. So this tab view is going to take our children, of which they're going to be tabs. So we're going to take children. Okay, so the first children, we can define the first tab. Okay, so I can put here the first children. So this here you can put any kind of what, any kind of content that you want. So it can even be a normal kind of widget. Okay, so that will be our first tab, and then you can also add other tabs. Okay, all right, so after doing that, now the next thing is now we're going to add now the controller, the tabs here, the one that you see here on top, which is going to be the controller. Okay, so here I did a mistake. I'm not supposed to return that. I'm not supposed to return a normal text. Okay, so on top here, in this widget, I mean this list of widget, we are going to return what we call the silver up bar. Okay, we're going to return what we call silver up bar, and then we'll also attach the remaining widgets. So this silver up bar, it will allow me to organize my things in this way. Okay, so let's go ahead and return silver up bar. Okay, then after doing that, you can as well mimic these ones as normal widgets like this. All right, so after doing that, the next thing you're going to do is now to return now the silver up bar. It will have the style, and that style is the one that you can use to maybe to color your system. Okay, the status bar and the rest. All right, let me first go back and open this page again. Okay, the application crashed the whole of it. All right, so you return the silver up bar, and this is you return the silver up bar, and then in this silver up bar you put the what, you put the silver up bar's theme that you want to style, like the way you see here, the overlay theme, the overlay styling. And then this silver up bar is going to have a title. So this title is what you'll be able to see here on top. Okay, so the silver up bar, you can design it and give it a title. Then after giving it a title, so this is in silver up bar, you can give it a title. The next thing that you can give it the what, the background color. Okay, so you can give it the background color. Then you can give it the leading. The leading is the icon that you'll see on top, and then the actions. They are these. The actions, they are these buttons that you see here. So that's the one that you call what? That you call actions. So you can be able to create your own what? Your own app bar as you can see here. So let me go ahead and provide those ones here. All right, so after doing that, so you can pause the video and you look at these our action that I've passed. So this silver app bar, it will have what we call the bottom. So the bottom is now the content that you see here. Okay, so in the bottom we are going to pass the tab controller, now the one that is going to be controlling this section, which is this one here. So let's go ahead and give it the bottom. So I'll come here to this silver bar and give it what we call bottom. Okay, so in the bottom we're going to pass now the tab bar. Okay, so now let me explain. We have two things: the tab, which is the one that is going to show the view, and then the tab bar. The tab bar, it is the one that is going to do what? To now have the controls or the controllers. Okay, so that are the two things. You can place this one anywhere. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're going to style it. Okay, so let me go ahead and paste this one. So the first thing is going to have maybe the color. So I'm saying the color of the tab should be white, and then the indicator of the tab it should be of this size, and then also I indicate the weight of the tab. So after doing that, now we have to pass the tabs. The tabs is now the content that is going to appear here on top, or to control the tab itself. So you pass the tabs, and these tabs you put the tab. So when you say tab, you can pass an icon, you can pass a title. So you can even try to see other possible things that you can pass. You can pass its height, you can give it a child, you can give it text. So there are so many things that you can do that you can give. You can give it an icon, margin, etc. So for us here, we're just providing it an icon, and then we return the text. Okay, so that the tab that are going to control are the main tab. Then lastly, you have to give it a controller. So this controller is the one that is going to control the tab view wherever it is. So this tab view, I hope it must have a what? It must have a controller. I think that's what I had forgotten. So the tab view must also have a controller. So this controller is then going to connect with this tab tab controller is then that's going to connect the tab view with the tab controller. Okay, so I hope you understand. So if I open, you should be able to see that it is so beautiful. Okay, so you see I'm able to scroll. But the challenge is our tab has not changed the color. So we have to give it this scroll bar, we have to give it a background color of primary, so you can be able to do to have that color that you want. So come here to this silver bar and also add it a background color of primary. So it can be any color that you want, and then you put elevated to inner scroll. So when you say elevated to inner scroll, then you're able to have something like this. So this leading, I've already shown you, it is the one that is going to be on top here. In case you want to replace this, you can put the leading, and then you put any icon of your choice. Okay, so whoever can color icon by icon, but for us, since we are using the white theme, that's why our things look to be in black. But you can color them if you want to, one by one. Alright, so let me explain what I've just done. So you can go ahead and color this, but if you style the whole theme, of course, to be the color that you want. So let me go ahead and explain what I've done. Okay, I'm going to explain everything step by step so you can understand the concept, and then you proceed. And I'm also going to remove the misconception that you might have got right now. Alright, so here we are having the what? Alright, sorry about that. So here we are having the tab controllers. So the tab controller is the one that is very important. If you just forget about even this scroll controller. So this tab controller is the one that is very important. Its purpose is to link the tab view wherever it is. The tab view is the one that is going to be displaying the content with the tab controller or with the tab navigation bars. So the tab navigation bars, they are the ones that are going to do what? To be displaying the content. Okay. Let's just pick this person. Hello, Phil, I'm in a lecture. Can you call me like after 1 hour? Yeah, call me at 11, please. All right. Okay, so I was saying this tab is the most important. Okay, it's the most important. Okay, it's the most important because the one that is going to collect the controllers with the what? With the section that's going to control it. Okay, and also another thing, if you're going to have tabs, you must also add this single ticker provider on your what? On your state. So forget about this second one. So when you're defining a tab, you have to initialize it like that. So you give it the number of tabs that you're going to put and then put vsync to this. All right, so after doing that, the next thing is that you have to now put the container, what you want to display. So one thing that you should know, you can as well do something like this. I can, for example, I can comment this one, okay? And we have our normal scaffold, okay? And then this scaffold, we give it maybe we have our up bar, and then we have here maybe our column. This is just the normal column that you know. All right, so if I do like this, still everything will be okay. I can as well come here and give our normal up bar, and then maybe say up bar, and then you give maybe a title, okay. So you see, I just want to remove the misconception that maybe you might have got like maybe tabs are hard. So after doing that, you see we have nothing because I've commented this one. So the next that you're going to do, you're going to give, for example, this children, okay? So first of all, you're going to need the controllers that are going to control your tab. So to create controllers, you can put them anywhere. You can put them maybe to any design that you want. You can place them anywhere. So, but the main important part is that your tab controllers should be having the controller, what? They should be having the controller variable or object that is going to link them with the what it should control. So you see here, as our simple column, I've just given what we call the tabs, okay? So tab bar, what we call the tab bar. So this tab bar, it will take just a few things. It will take the indicator color that you want. It will take the tab, but the most important part must take the what? The tab controller and the number of tabs that you're going to have. So these are the icons or what you want to display. So if I save, you see, I'll see that. So if I say maybe it should be blue or black, my icon will always be black. So you see, you can even create such a beautiful design. So right now I've just created a controller, but I've not put now the content that I want to put in this controller. So if I want, that I want this tab controller to control. So if I want to put the content, I just simply come here in bottom. For example, I can now put expanded because I don't know how huge the content is going to be. Expanded. And then here in this scroll view, I'm going to put, in this expanded, and I'm now going to put my what? I'm now going to put my tab view, this one here. Okay, tab view. So I'll come here and put tab view. Okay, so the tab view, it must also take the what? The controller that is going to control it. So the tab view is now the content that you want to display. Remember, it's going to have a child. This child is like, it can be your content, like anything that you want in this child. Okay, so since there are 3, I'm also putting here 3 children in this in this tab view. So if I save, I'm going to achieve the same thing. So this one can even be scrollable. Can you see? So forget about this nested scroll view, whatever. Just look at what I've just explained right now. Those are the main things that you do want in order to create such a kind of a WhatsApp application, where here you have your messages, here you have your status, and here maybe you have your calls. You see? So here you can put any kind of content that you want. So you can go ahead and look at all the possible functions that this tab view controller can take, and also maybe the tab bar can take. Okay, so that is all you need about tabs. However, you can go deep and find out more things, maybe colors and the rest, the animation, disabling animation, all those things. So that is about tabs. So it means that in this one you can put anything. For example, here in the content, I can even call this one, and then maybe I put here, for example, my widget, and say maybe tab 1 tab 1 content, and then open bracket, and then I create the widget of this. Okay, so you see, I'm just trying to show you what you can possibly do, then I'm going to give you a challenge that you should try. Okay, so when I say tab 1 content, I come here and I return. So I can return, for example, a single okay, I can return, for example, a column. Okay, so it means that the tab 1 is going to have a what? A column. So this column can have children. Okay, so in this children can have, for example, text 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and blah blah blah. So when I save, you'll see that in the first tab we have any content that we want. In the second tab we have another content. So you can design this content to anywhere that you want. So it can even be scrollable if you want it to be. It can even be a dynamic list. So that is how you can create tabs. So I hope you've understood the basic concept of creating tabs. So let me see the challenge that you can do. I can give you as a challenge, also you can try it out. So if it is a new tab, of course you'll have to try it together. So you should be able to do something like this. Now we should be able to implement a store tab where you're going to have a tab like this one. I hope you can see that. We're going to have a tab like this one. However, here the challenge is, the challenge that I'm giving you is when you scroll, this one should do what? Should disappear. So you should be able to have a tab like this one. So you can challenge yourself and pause the video and try to do this kind of a tab. We're going to have the scroller, and then the images like these ones, and then should be scrollable, and then you should be able to have the tabs. Maybe this one can be maybe a page for music. This one may be a page for movies. This one may be a page for shop, and this one may be a page for my account settings. Okay, and then you display the relevant content there. It is the same knowledge, but I want you to challenge yourself by doing something like this. Okay, all right, so that's the first challenge that I have for you. This one you can also try it. It is the same tab. Please pause the video and try this challenge. Okay, just change the label color and then the active color, but put the different content, because I already showed you how to create this kind of grid. So merge the knowledge, get the grid that I told you before, and see how you can achieve something like this. Okay, so you should be able to achieve that. All right, so you should be able to achieve this. So instead of putting a text here, okay, a text here, you should put a what? You should put an icon, okay, and then change the icon to the color of the active tab. So that is a challenge that I'm giving you also to try. It is possible. Okay, now another thing that you're observing here is, like, when I come to this, for example, movies, the title changes. So it means that there's a listener that changes when a tab changes. So I want you to challenge yourself and put a tab listener. So I think this one you can put from here, and put I'm sure I can play the listener. So this is the one for and for icon tabs. I want to show you how you can implement the listener. So this is how you add a listener. You add the listener on the controller. You put add listener. So this listener will be executed when something changes. Okay, so you can just simply implement it like this. So you can add listener here. So you check if it is not null by just doing like this, and then put add listener. So this add listener will be called every time the tab changes. Okay, so you can go ahead and say when the tab changes, you get the active index. So let's say that we have our title, this one that we call tabs. Let's say that is a dynamic variable, or it is a variable called title. So the title by default, we can say maybe it is a string title called tabs by default. All right, so now we want when it changes, when the tab changes, this title should also change. So we'll come to this and add a listener here on init. We check if it is not null, we add listener, and then you say when it changes, you go ahead and get the index of the title. So you can have this in form of index, or you can just simply say title equals to, and then you say tab. Let's say that you want to identify which tab is it. So if you want to get the position of the current tab, this is how you get it. You just simply say the tab and check if it is not null, and then you say .index. So .index, it will give you the latest active tab position. Then you put .setState. Okay, so if you can put a condition and say if is 1, then display this, if it's 2, then display this, something like that. So this one will always change the this tab. So since this function is only called when the application is open or when the page is open, I'll first go back and open it again. So you see, when you change, it is changing to tab 0. So the first tab is tab 0, the second one is tab 1, and then 3. So it is beginning from 0. So if I want maybe to show 1, 2, 3, I can just simply come here and put +1. So by doing like that, we should be able to see this one is so I'll restart again. So when I change, see, this one is tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. So this listener in simple terms is being called when it is changing. So you can do your logic here per page or per respective page of what you want to do when someone goes to that particular tab. I hope you're together, guys. Okay, so you should be able to do something like this. So I'm giving you this one as a challenge also. Do something like this. Pause the video and then you do an example like this one. You should be able to achieve it. So right now we are now on implementation. I'm not going to do everything for you. I'll show you how you can do it, and then I show you what you should do in order for you to trigger your brain and see if you're really understanding these things. So you should be able to achieve something like this. Okay. Now, if the tabs are too many, you can enable the scroll view. Okay, let's say that you have like 10 tabs and they cannot fit all of them in the screen. You can enable the scroll. So if there are too many, let's say that you can make like 10 tabs and then you want it to be scrollable. You'll just simply come here when you're initializing it and put come here to the tab bar. Put it here to the tab bar and put is scrollable and make it to true. So if you make it to true, these tabs will be able to do what? To be scrollable if there are many. If you make it to false, it means that they will try to balance the available space and make them themselves fixed there without being able to be scrolled. Okay, but if you're expecting many tabs, let's say like 10, you can make it to scrollable to be true. Then those tabs will be able to do what? To scroll. Okay, so pause the video and challenge yourself to do something like this, where you have like many tabs and you should be able to do what? To scroll them. Pause the video and do something like that. All right, so that is a tab for you. So you should also be able maybe to do a tab like this one. Okay, so you can even disable that single scrolling. So you just change the user interface. Instead of putting just the normal icon over the tab, you can just simply put this kind of icon, so you can be able to do what? To scroll them like these ones. Okay, this is just like a text that you have here, but the difference is it is doing what? It is the difference is it is having the background color and also the container and with the padding, and it is scrollable. But they are what? But they are tabs. So you can challenge and do something also like this one. Okay, pause the video and then do like this. This is nothing but a container that has that kind of text and the background color, and then these are list of widgets that you have already done in the when you did cards, if you still remember. So pause the video and challenge yourself and do something like this. Okay, so you can make a news application where you can have your maybe trending news, all news, new news, or the featured news, something like that. And when you click on a tab, you'll be able to show the relevant content according to what I showed you here, that you can even design a separate widget and then present it as a what? As a tab content of a certain tab. So go ahead and do that. So and then almost everything that I've explained, you can now relate and see that you'll be able to do what? To achieve it. So pause the video and do at least more than 2 challenges that I've asked you to do in order to know that you've mastered this knowledge of tabs. All right, so we'll proceed to the next step, and we're going to look at what we call steppers. I think our time is up. We're going to do that in the next video. So in the next video, we're going to see how we can do steppers. Steppers, they help us to show something step by step, and we can also use them when we are onboarding someone on what? On our application. So in the next video, we're going to see how you can do this kind of stepper, or what we call wizards. Okay, so make sure that you don't miss. So we're going to have a very short break and then come back and see how we can accomplish this kind of what? This kind of things, or these steppers. All right, so let us be back at 10 past 10. So 10 past 10, after 6 minutes, we should be back and then do our last session. So let's have a short break of 5 minutes and then we'll be back for the last session.